Well, there are so many weird food in Japan. Some look strange, some have unpleasant colors, and some smell so bad. I believe you need a little bit of courage to try them for the first time if you don't know what they are, and it might even turn into an unpleasant memory in Japan. However, I'm also sure if you know them in advance, you will be less surprised. In this video, I'm going to introduce weird Japanese food I usually eat and you may end up eating in Japan. Konnyaku is a traditional Japanese food made from the comb of the konjac plant. The appearance is like, really weird. The color is gray. It's absolutely the worst color for the food, I believe. The texture is like really slimy and a bit hard texture. Even though it's chewy texture, I'm sure you have never eaten this kind of like texture maybe. But the taste itself is like, to be honest, nothing. It's really popular, so when you go to a Japanese restaurant or like also when you go to Japanese izakaya, you definitely find this. Burdock is a type of root vegetable widely used in Japanese cuisine. Burdock is also one of the popular ingredient, like let's say vegetable in Japan, but like I'm sure you don't eat it in your country. It's like appearance itself is like, you know, like a branch of the tree, to be honest. The texture is like a bit crunchy as you heard. It's like something like eating a branch of tree, to be honest. And also I can feel some earthy aroma, you know, familiar taste for me using like salada and of course sometimes miso soup. We use burdock for so many other Japanese foods, so I'm not sure you like it, but yeah, it's really popular vegetable in Japan, so please try it. Satsumage is a type of traditional Japanese fried fish cake made from ground fish meat and deep fried in oil. So the inside is like this. Can you see that? They deep fried it, but the inside is like very soft and the outside is not like, to be honest, crispy at all. Even though I said like it's deep fried, but it's not greasy, it's not oily at all. Well, I taste the white fish, like obviously, but also smells and tastes a bit of, you know, Japanese sake. I'm sure you've never ever eaten this kind of like fish food. Fukujinzuke is a type of traditional Japanese pickle made by soaking vegetables. It's food obviously, but more like, you know, the topping maybe. When we eat fukujinzuke, it's like basically when we eat Japanese curry. The color itself is like, you know, associate something like spicy, but this one is not spicy at all. More like, you know, the sweet taste, to be honest. But anyway, let's see. The smell is like so weird. It's like it's like sweet, but something like sour smells, something like that. But let's eat anyway. Can you hear that? Like the texture. But don't surprise it, you will definitely have fukujinzuke when you order Japanese curry in a Japanese curry restaurant. Bamboo shoot, takenoko in Japanese, are the young sprouts of bamboo and are widely used as food. Can you see that? Like probably the weirdest shape. Well, I believe that in terms of shape, this is probably the weirdest. But anyway, let's eat it. Yeah, I like it, of course. I'm Japanese. It's quite a familiar taste for me and more like, you know, comfort food, like made something like a homemade food in Japan. Texture is like not crunchy, this one, but like some of them are crunchy. To be fair, a bamboo shoot like doesn't have taste, to be honest, at all. Overall, like it looks weird, so it's one of the weird food for me in Japan, but more like easy to eat for you, even though it's first time. Seaweed is general term for algae, and there are many types of it in Japan. For us, it's quite usual because like we eat seaweed definitely every day, but especially miso soup, and we put like seaweed on salada as well. But if I want Japanese, I have no idea why Japanese eat this kind of weird food. The appearance is like so weird and the texture is so weird, but like let's eat. Can you see that? It's like a noodle. Itadakimasu. The texture is like both of them, the texture is a bit different, obviously. Sticky. And again, the slimy texture. I can feel some sense of like, you know, ocean. But also they put like some, for instance like mozuku, they put like vinegar, so it's really sour. It's definitely one of weird food in Japan, and I'm sure you don't usually eat seaweed in your country and in your home, so yeah, it's not bad, but again, it's really weird for you. Natto is a traditional Japanese fermented food made by fermenting cooked soybeans with natto bacteria. As you can see, the appearance is like probably the worst food in Japan. It smells is like so bad. It's like, I was born in Japan and grew up in Japan, so I know the taste, I know the smell, so it's fine for me. I am sure like if it's first time for you and if you don't know natto and I try it, you definitely believe the food is rotten or like, you know, out of date for sure. But strong smell, so stinky and really sticky. Even I finish eating, my mouth is like still like sticky like that. And the taste is like really difficult to describe, but like what I can say is like fermented soybean. This is literally the fermented. We Japanese eat fermented like food. The popular one is obviously natto, and this one is the fermented, taste of fermented. I like it. But if you ask me, explain why, I don't know, I have no idea. This one is probably like overall the most weirdest food in Japan. Tofu is a traditional Japanese food made primarily from soybeans. This is also made from soybeans, but the process itself is totally different, so that is why it's totally different from the natto. Smells like nothing at all, especially compared to natto. The color itself is white, it's more like, you know, familiar color for us. Well, we basically put like soy sauce or like sometimes salt, but yeah, I'm a bit lazy. I'm fine. I can taste like tofu itself, so this time I don't put anything. Itadakimasu. The texture is like, you know, really soft. As you can see, it's like easy to broken like this. A bit like difficult to like hold it. Taste itself is like more like close to nothing, to be honest. I can feel like some like scent of like soybean, but like even though it's soybean, it's definitely easier to eat for you compared to natto. Shiokara is a traditional Japanese food made by fermenting salted seafood intestines or meat. To be fair, looks it's kind of disgusting, to be honest. Like natto, I guess. The smell itself is like really fishy. Alright, so let's eat it. You feel a bit of the texture. The taste itself is like a bit like salty. I can feel some like fishy, to be honest. But this is why this food is like really popular in Japan. This one is very popular, goes well like white rice and also when we eat alcohol. You know, Japanese people really enjoy this kind of fishy taste, like to enjoy somehow. So, you know, I know like some like foreigners don't like fishy taste. That is why they don't like sushi. But like, yeah, more than fishy. They're literally fishy, to be honest. So overall, color, like sticky, and the smell, fishy. It's like same level like weird food natto, I believe. I'm sure like half of you don't like it, and some of you like it though. Umeboshi is a traditional Japanese preserved food made by salting and sun-drying or fermenting ume fruits. It's also maybe one of the popular Japanese foods already, but definitely looks weird. It's kind of like unfamiliar color, I guess. Anyway, let's try it. Hoppa! Goosebump. It's really sour. My like face is like getting red. It's really like sour and it has skin, so we can like of course feel the texture of the skin. But like inside is a bit like sticky. But this is the sourest food probably in the world. In Japan for sure, this is the sourest. And also if you ask me, the taste itself of umeboshi is like good or not. I'm like kind of neutral, I think. It's not bad, but it's not also good, to be honest. Umeboshi is more like, for me, is like kind of like medicine. You probably eat it in probably like onigiri. Also, like if you have Seideik Japanese in, you definitely have like umeboshi for the breakfast. Shirasu primarily refers to the fry of anchovy, sardine, and sweet fish, among others. It's the tiniest fish we Japanese eat, maybe. I'm not sure though. Can you see that? Alright, so I will pick one. This is like, can you see that? This is quite white in English. Alright, so let's eat. I can like taste a bit, but like not really, so I should eat a lot. Itadakimasu. Like texture itself is like soft, but also a bit like fluffy. Like since I eat a lot of them, I can like feel some like remaining of the center of ocean. It's really popular and it goes well like white rice and also salada and also pasta as well. It's because like very small, so you probably overlook even though you have eaten or even though you will eat in Japan. But like, don't forget, this is shirasu. It's very popular in Japan. Alright, so that's all weird Japanese food. So what do you think about it? I think you have eaten some of them, but like also sure like never eaten some of them as well. Anything is fine, please let me know your opinion about the food I introduced this time. There are also many food in Japan which you don't know yet. Like we also introduced like so many things about Japanese food culture. So if you are interested in the Japanese things, please also watch this video later. I hope you enjoy these like weird Japanese food in Japan anyway. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.